This is the first video podcast of the 14th University on Youth and Development. So, Andrea, 14 years of University on Youth and Development?
Yeah, 14 years indeed, 14 editions, few hundreds of participants, dozens of activities and meetings. We still have the core partners, new partners, old partners that came back. So yeah, I don't know how it was in the beginning, you know, I've not been here for that long, fortunately. It's the youth field.
When did you start coming here?
Oh, my first year was in 2005. So,
mine was 2009. Huh? I'm a latecomer in that sense.
Yeah. But I wonder how it was in the beginning. You know, I met already some people that attended. I met this year one person in Tunisia that attended the first edition of the university in 2000. And she's now working there in the National Youth Observatory of Tunisia, that now it's hosting the Mediterranean University. And it's really rare now that you are able to find in the field someone that has been here since the beginning. And this is, of course, what happens in the youth field. When you get old, you move on.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think that it changed for sure in these 14 years.
You know, for me, when I first came here, it was quite interesting because it has the name of a university.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was still so sweating at my university back home in Ljubljana to finish my bachelor. And then I came here, and then this was a university. But actually, it's something completely different that, you know, what I understood of a university
You know
before.
why it's called a university?
No, why?
Well, it's called a university because it has, on one side, the idea of universal, so related with the global education approach, and one world, our world, that is also the motto of the North-South Center of the Council of Europe at that time. And also because it is to deconstruct the idea that to learn, you have to go to university.
Yeah.
And of course, it's quite important what you learn in the university, but then from education, global education, and the educational approach that we have here, can also be a quite interesting learning experience. So this was the idea of calling university. And of course, that this creates a lot of confusion, but I think that people get the picture when they get here and they participate, because this is something also for me quite interesting, that it's to try to explain what the university is.
You can't.
You just can't. So you really have to come and to participate to understand what it is. And what has changed in these 14 years? Well, for next year it will be 15, and I think that one of the things that we'll have to do is for sure to reorganize a bit the collective memory and all the information that we have to be able to tell the story better next year. You know, what happened in 15 years of celebrating youth work here together. But for sure that it changed the size of the university. It started with one activity, and now this year, for example, we have 13 activities and meetings, and now we will have like 200 young people. I think that the youth organizations took the lead also in organizing this with the North-South Center. And you feel more, at least since I started, you feel the organization's quite engaged. It became quite famous worldwide, so university is something that everyone has a reference, and that's really good. And more.
You know, for me, now I have second year in a row this privilege to be the coordinator for the joint program. And last year we had the topic of youth rights. And although the concept of youth rights is something that is emerging, something that in the youth field, with young people, with organizations, we are only fighting to actually achieve some kind of recognition that we want youth rights. But at the same time, it was quite, because of, you know, it's coming from us, we are demanding it, we want it. So it was really, in one way, challenging, but also easy to work with it. And this year, the theme of the university is democratic citizenship, while democratic citizenship as a concept, I think it's much more spoken of. You can find it in a lot of documents, a lot of institutions talk about it. There's a lot of money even put into, I don't know, developing competences for this, stimulating people to be democratic citizens and so on. But then, in the context of this university, it's really challenging. I have to tell you, it's really challenging because to explore the meaning for us, what it means to be a democratic citizen in today's society, in systems where democracy is not working, where people, especially young people, are so disillusioned with the system to a point where they are feeling complete apathy, not wanting to be engaged at all, or on the other hand side, even going against the system, which personally I think is great. But you have this challenge, and then how do we incorporate all this reality into what this university can offer? I think it's a great challenge for this week.
But I think that because of what has changed in the last 14 years, I think that you as a joint program coordinator, no doubt that we have improved a lot or get more sophisticated in the joint program approach and the people. So the team that has been managing the university has been learning a lot and challenging also, to have a different approach towards the program. And I think that this is also important because then the impact that we have in the participants and also in the follow-up of the people that participate in the university, I think we are doing year after year a better work, and we can see it, for example, in the North-South Center every time that we have applications and the people give us the feedback from the previous years and why they want to attend the activities. It's because we feel that it has an impact, at least in their practice, as youth workers, and also in their attitudes, so in the way they perceive the others, in the way they perceive the world as well, and their role in the society and the community. And this has been quite interesting to see also, at least the years that I've been following, to see then what happens to the people that participate and where they are now.
Us.
Yeah, look at us.
Changed me, huh? I come here and I found a second home.
Yeah.
Because I think this is the thing that people find here is inspiration. I think they find motivation for going back home and continuing struggling and doing what they were doing anyway, but feel sometimes so alone. And then they come here and they get the support and they get new inputs how to do it. And I think this is the added value.
And the networking.
Yeah.
And the networking, because the fact that we have different organizations coming, and each organization most of the times has also participants coming from different organizations, then the potential of networking and to promote change at a more structural level as well. I think it's a good potential the university has, the multiplication effect. I think it's quite...
And I think also for a lot of young people that come here, especially if they were working before on grassroots level or in their organizations, I think that the fact that they get to experience this other dimension, the political dimension, the political impact we try to do with the work, and that also they contribute to, I think is also something that leaves an impact, And I know that a lot of people sometimes are a bit reserved or even skeptical. I mean, how does this fit? Why do we give attention to it? Why do we even make the effort to make a declaration, for example, in the end, a political statement, some document? But then seeing that this impacts some, let's say, hardcore political processes, I think that's also empowering. I think it gives another perspective of what politics can do, or it can also be influenced by us, working in the grassroots. I think that's also something that changes people's perspectives.
Because this is a great space also to disseminate, what is happening and what are the opportunities for participation, what are the tools available as well. Because here you have the possibility also to share practices, to share materials, pedagogical resources, to share about what are even the advocacy tools that exist, for you to fight for your rights and to fight also for having a say in policy development. and of course to promote the values that we as partners and as of course Council of Europe have here for to share with the young people and our partners as well. So I don't know what's going to happen from tomorrow. Can you?
Yes.
Next edition. So we are here.
Yes.
The meta level and being more concrete, what can we expect for this week? That's what we want.
So for this edition, well, as said before, we are going to explore the concept of democratic citizenship.
Yeah.
So at first we want to make sure that every single person coming here is challenged to reflect, okay, what does democratic citizenship mean for me? How do I practice it? How do I live it? Do I live it? Do I want to? All these kind of questions. What do I need in order to be able to exercise democratic citizenship? Are there some underlying things that need to happen, Do I need to vote in order to be a democratic citizen, or can I also be a democratic citizen in another system maybe? So starting from that kind of more personal reflection, we want to then also go and give people the chance to share the practices, different ways how they do it in their organizations and their communities. And then we want to build a common vision. We want to take people on a dream how it would be, 2085. If you can make like a perfect society system, a wish list, and then ask yourself, okay, so what does democratic citizenship mean in that kind of system for me? How does it look like? Describe it, That's what we want to challenge people to dream, to make a vision, because if they make this vision, then at the end they can ask themselves, okay, so if I know where I want to get to, how?
Yeah, so the how part, what's our role?
Our role also
as partners, as citizens,
and what we want to ask for, what we want to work for, what we want to do more for. So that's the meta level, that's the process. And then concretely, it means a lot of talking with each other, a lot of mixing between people, sharing concepts, because we will have people coming from everywhere, from Asia, from Africa, from Europe, Latin America also, and I think it's also the need, to meet and to share these understandings on that level. It's an important need and a great opportunity. So we'll make this exchange and then be very creative. We'll do theater, we'll do music with it, we'll play some games. And then I think also one of the important things is that we will always we will construct something, we'll construct this vision together and we'll look for some common solutions.
Okay, and I think we are not going to share more, otherwise it will lose the surprise effect, no? So, I don't know, I'm looking forward for this week. We'll do a great work for sure all together. And and we hope that you enjoy it. We will for sure.
It's great to be amongst friends.
Okay, thank you.